So some of the meetings and events that have taken place since our last update before Christmas, on December 16th, we had a community wellness dinner, which was sponsored by a number of our departments here at Six Nations, including Ontario Works, Health, Social, Justice. They all came together, and we thought that given so much tragedy and loss that has occurred in our community just prior to Christmas and the months before, that it would be good to have a community dinner and then just get to get that community sense of community back, and that sense that we're all here to help each other. So that was held on December 16th, and it was a huge success. We had entertainment by Ken and Sonia Salt and the soft shoe dancers from Emily C. General School, and we finished off the day with a big show by Big Joe and his band. So it was a good event, and I think everybody enjoyed it. On December 17th, elected council met with some of the Confederacy chiefs up at the Woodland Centre in Brantford. We had last met with them in August, and as everyone knows, there's people in the community are saying that we should work together. Our door has always been open to work together with them, and as I said, when we met in August, we suggested to them that we have a working group of 4 people from elected council, 4 people from the Confederacy, to come together and discuss, start talking about what issues we can work on together for the benefit of the community. So when we met in December, we asked what the decision was with that, and we were told that a decision was not made yet. So we continue to say that we do need to work together on issues of concern in our community. So we've asked them again to please go back and ask the full council if they are interested in establishing a process where we can work together. So we're waiting for them to come back again onto whether they're able to do that or not. On December 18th, we had a meeting with some consultants, myself in the Justice Department, with some consultants who are doing a study on the relationship with Brantford Police Force and Six Nations and other surrounding areas. On December 19th, myself and Councillor Audrey Paulus-Bomberry and members of the Lifelong Learning Steering Committee met with Indigenous Services Canada to continue discussions on our education system here at Six Nations. Later in the day, I also did a end of the year, New Year radio interview with 92.9 radio out of Caledonia. Our office was closed over Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. And then on the 28th, a bunch of us headed off to Toronto for the opening game of the Toronto Rock, who were playing against the Georgia Swarm. We were successful in getting over 200 tickets for Six Nations and 100 tickets for Indigenous people who are living in Toronto and some from Oneida Nation. And that was possible through the sponsorship of Hydro One and CN and Union Gas and Six Nations Child and Family Services. And we thank them, and Six Nations Council, we thank them for all their support because we were able to get people there. It was a wonderful night. It was Six Nations night. And of course we had Johnny Paulus, who plays for the Toronto Rock, and Randy Stotts and Brendan Bomberry and some of the Thompson brothers who play for the Georgia Swarm. So we had a good crowd there, and I was asked to do the traditional land acknowledgement and the ball drop. And at the halftime, we had smoke dancers from Six Nations, and we had paperweights from Six Nations Minor Lacrosse doing a scrimmage. And so it was a wonderful night for Six Nations, and I thank Toronto Rock for doing it. And I thank Social Services for providing some buses to take some of our kids down there. On the 29th of December, I took part in a New Year's Eve dry party that was hosted by the Big Joe Band. It was a good evening. Big Joe provided pizza and wings and everything, and it was fun and good music. And he tells me he wants to do more for Valentine's and Halloween. And his reason for doing that is because he wants people to know that you can still all go out and have a good time and have fun without having alcohol involved. Our office was closed on New Year's Day, and then on the 5th of January, I took part and brought greetings at the New Year's levee of Mayor Kevin Davis in the city of Brantford. He's the new mayor there. And the following day, on January 6th, I was also speaking and brought greetings at the New Year's levee for the South Dumfries Historical Society, and that was held in St. George. And on January 10th, I attended at the Best Western for the Ontario Conference of the Women's Institute of Brantford, and just welcomed them and brought some greetings to them. And later that evening, I joined our friends from Longyan Wind Energy, who had invited the Consul General of China to dinner, and so they invited Phil Montour and I to join them. So that was a good event as well.